Arizona, homeowner's best friend.
Go through like the first 3 or 4 or 5 things you've got to consider. Okay, I want a casita in my backyard.
Right. Well,
okay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, first of all, after overcoming the initial shock that now it's allowed.
Yeah, right.
Wonderful. There's, of course, the zoning regulations are always an important consideration. So we always need to check for zoning to see whether it is allowed. While it was opened up for the majority of the lots in Phoenix, it's still something that can have limitations. So that's number one that's very important to take a look at. Number two, do I live in a community with an HOA? The HOA might have quite a lot to say about that. So they could always go ahead and say, well, we're not really sure about that. Our bylaws do not allow it. And so that would be prohibitive. Other than that, there's just a few minor quote unquote pitfalls that we have to consider. Anything that has to do with grading and drainage of the lot. Setbacks
can't cause a grading problem or drainage problem for your neighbor.
Exactly.
In getting this, we've still got retention guidelines we've got to abide by.
Exactly. Floodplain is always an issue. So if the property is in a floodplain, we would need to raise the casita out of the ground by a specific amount.
The guest house usually needs electricity,
yes,
fresh water,
yep,
and a sewer line.
So all of
appreciate
these,
those things.
They would need to be brought in.
Yeah.
And other than that, I mean, then it's really only about where do I place it? How do I place it properly? Because it's also dependent on the use that I want to have. So if it's something that, let's say, my aging parents are going to be living in, that's different than something where I'm going to be just housing guests for a day or two, right?
Big difference.
Yes.
Rosie on the house, every Arizona homeowner